today. Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. 15 of the NFL. As we'll see Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills versus Jacoby Brissett and the Carolina Panthers.
Winter is just around the corner as you get a look at Bills Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. And we are underway in Buffalo. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Leading him out in his 6th season now from NC State, it's Jacoby Brissett.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. They juked him, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, this is McCaffrey, and he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. The numbers for McCaffrey last week, there was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The tackle there by Stephen Weatherly. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. DJ Moore with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they are going to take over.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Brissett on first down, eluding the pressure right. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. McCaffrey following the penalty. He's to the 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So here come the Bills for their first go on offense, led by their Pro Bowl quarterback. Now in his 4th season, it's Josh Allen.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We take a look at his numbers on the ground. Last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Allen's throw taken in by Diggs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because it's been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Allen off the play fake. And that is incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Allen now looks to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my deep.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide.
Singletary loses it. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. 21-0 our score after 1. Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Here's Chris Jones now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
They go play action with Brissett. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
And that's on Austin Jackson, first-round pick in 2020.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Brissett now. Flush to his right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Bills are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, when he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Panthers have recovered. And that one quickly went from a big play for the offense, I thought he may go the distance, to a big play for the defense.
And how about the emotions for the defense on that play? It broke big. It was going to be an absolute disaster for them, and it turns out they end up with the football. I don't know that they're exactly celebrating. Definitely plenty of relief, though.
Being chased out left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Cole Beasley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers are able to add on to their first half lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there.
And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out. Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he is going to have a Bills first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Allen to throw once more. Flushed out right. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's Chris Jones now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his clock? That's the question. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Play fake. Brissett. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Brissett. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Rashard Higgins. His third touchdown now on the year.
And the Panthers open the lead up to 34-0.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills.
As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense, Allen hit. He lost the football. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing again on second down. Allen. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Chris Jones now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half.
They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
Here's McCaffrey. Room here to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
142 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On play action, Brissett. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think that these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
They'll throw now on the final play. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to look deep for more. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, and that one is all Jaguars. They've got the lead at halftime. First overall pick, Trevor Lawrence with 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. On 2nd and 10, Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Allen's throw is complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. To throw, it's Allen. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Brian Burns in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. And with the day he's having as we look at some of these highlights, the Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 148 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action now. Brissett. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. The Bills going to take over again on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. J.C. Horn, the first defender taken back in April. They're on the stop defensively. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Here's Chris Jones now as he's on for the 5th time here today.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Penalty stings big time there, wipes away a very good return.
They work on it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work, try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
Now Foreman. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They run again with Foreman, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
49's the mic. Watch 49. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Here's Foreman. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll run for it. This is Foreman. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. That is caught by Anderson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Buffalo set to get the football back here. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Allen. Screenplay, Johnson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, They don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Now left side on the swing pass. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Looking to throw again on second down. Allen, he finds his man Johnson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Bills on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From midfield, here's Allen. This one caught by Crowder. And he is going to have a Bills first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Now Allen again. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. From the 31, Allen. On the catch, it's Crowder. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. This ball complete to the tight end, Sweeney. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. Here's Allen to throw it. Buying time and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point by Bass, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Tavon Austin now from the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to